Today, we're talking about the value that's deepening in the medtech sector. We're taking a look at Intuitive Surgical and Medtronic, just to name a few stocks. Let's get started. Medtech stocks are pulling back despite good results. There was a time not long ago when this sector was the darling of the market. Johnson & Johnson and Abbott Laboratories' recent results show strength in the medtech industry. And so today we're going to be looking at this sector. Thomas, what's the story here?
Yeah, right. So I was covering Johnson & Johnson and Abbott Laboratories and noticed that they both produce strength, but the strength was for both companies was centered in their medtech units. So that led me to go look into the medtech sector. And what I discovered were some deeply oversold names that are ready for correction. They're all producing good results relative to estimates, but a lot of the gains were priced into the market because the analysts have been ramping their expectations over the last year. So what I see happening is overcorrection and deep values and a strong market. The medtech market is strong. I mean, it's not growing robustly now because of the rebound since the pandemic, but the pandemic caused a significant rebound and we're still growing from that peak. So a lot of these companies too are blue chip buy and hold names, and we've got some good dividends also. But what also plays into the idea that they're oversold is that in most cases, the analysts see these stocks as trading below their lowest price targets.
Okay, so I feel like results were good, but tepid relative to estimates is kind of a common theme. So, Chris, these are not small cap names we're talking about today. And we are still in a time when investors are looking for a safety, of course. Growth is good, but safety is best right now for so many. What are your thoughts here?
Oh, yeah, Lacey. I mean, growth is always good. But let's not forget that some of these stocks that Thomas is going to talk about, some of these stocks also pay good dividends. And I think the trick is that you want to find stocks that give you that level of safety, but also offer you the chance for growth. MedTech is a really good area for this, and that's because these are defensive stocks. Now, that thesis got put to the test a little bit in 2020 and the early part of 2021 because people either couldn't or were choosing not to have these elective surgeries, but that's turning around. And let's not forget something. When you're talking about MedTech, you're combining two areas that are red hot right now. You're talking about robotics and you're talking about AI. And those two things are going to play off in a big way when you start talking about the medtech stock. So that's something to keep in mind with this sector. It's a thesis that's been challenged, but it really hasn't been refuted. And some of the circumstances and the reasons why it was challenged were, what do we want to say? They're one-off events. They're hopefully events that we will never see again in our lifetime. Now the market's starting to come back, and I don't think some of the things like Thomas was saying, I think some of the analysts are looking at some of those areas like robotics and AI and saying, yeah, this is a sector you're going to want to watch.
That's a great way to look at it, Chris. Thomas, I know that you look for reversal setups daily for MarketBeat. So tell us what you're seeing with these specifically. If you would show us the why and the how of impending reversals.
Yeah, right. And I want to be clear that these stocks haven't really made a reversal yet, and some of them haven't really made a bottom yet, but there are signs of bottoming and of impending bottoming in the market. Let's start with Medtronic. All right. So you can see here that Medtronic is in a clear downtrend. It even set a new low, and it's setting a new low today. But within that, we got Stochastic and MACD are both showing an oversold condition, which just sets it up for hitting a bottom or for rebounding. But more importantly, there is some significant divergence in the MACD. We got MACD making a smaller peak here compared to this peak over here, even while the stock makes a lower low. And that just signals some underlying weakness in the bear case. And it says that within the downtrend, there is some fairly active buying going on. All we need is a catalyst, and this stock should begin to rebound. That may happen over the next couple of months going into the next earnings report. Next chart, Intuitive Surgical. Now this chart looks a little bit better, and I want to point out that Intuitive Surgical, like Chris was saying, is benefiting from AI and digitization as much as medical technology. Intuitive Surgical makes a robotic surgical device. I mean, this thing is all about AI. Pretty soon we're going to have robots doing surgery without doctor's aid. But you can see the stock is correcting down to this significant support level here. It's in an uptrend. There's some volatility in the market. But again, we're seeing oversold conditions and divergence in the indicators that suggest the selling is overdone and the market's ready to rebound.
All right, Chris, your turn to be put on the spot. Which of these medtech stocks is getting your attention?
Well, you know, when I just looked at first glance and I was going through some of the market beat data, I saw that Intuitive Surgical is projecting their earnings growth to be about twice of that of what Medtronic was, and Stryker's down a little bit less than that. It's still good, but not quite as high as the other two. I'm going to go with a little recency bias here because I heard something this week that Medtronic was introducing, and I want to make sure I get this right, an extravascular implantable cardioverter defibrillator system.
That's easy to say, Chris.
It is. And it's designed to treat dangerously fast heart arrhythmias that can lead to sudden cardiac arrest. My first reaction when I heard it was it's a very interesting product. I contacted investor relations because I wanted to find out more about what the company thought about this in terms of what's the addressable market, how might this affect things like revenue and earnings down the future. Unfortunately, before we talked here, I haven't heard back from them. Yeah. I'm hoping that I hear back from them before they report earnings. I think it's November 21st. Stay tuned because we might have something to talk about for Medtronic before then, but I'll be curious about that. And that makes me, especially when I see the chart action that Thomas just showed, that could be the catalyst that investors are looking for that could really send that stock going higher.
All right. Well, we hope that everyone watching today found these insights valuable. Don't forget to check the linked resources below for more information on this topic. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button so you'll never miss out on the latest insights. We'll be sure to be covering more of this right here on this channel. Thank you so much for watching. Happy investing. We'll see you next time, guys.